Hi there. Welcome on the journey to transform culture. I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide. Well, hey, folks, let's jump into managing your team's energy. You know, we've talked before, of course, there's always going to be the ebbs and flows. There's no such thing as a perfect straight line in any performance, just like there isn't in the seasons, right? Winter, summer, spring, fall, so forth, right? Well, reorder that correctly. But there's variation. Life is about variation. But what we don't want is significantly negative variation, right? Spikes, negative spikes. And although we appreciate spikes of real, when really great things happen, we have to manage our expectations with that sort of thing. Otherwise, we can lead ourselves into conversely even sharper downward spikes if our expectations aren't managed appropriately. But as it relates to our teams, we also have to manage our team's energy level. I can't explain it, but people do have their own cadence of energy, right? Every day, different hours throughout the day, the week, right? Obviously, you can note a different cadence and energy between, say, Monday morning and Thursday afternoon, right? There's just a difference. And it's because there's these variations of energy. And we all have our individual levels of variation, but we also, as a group, we tend to sync up. You know, I've heard biologically women sync up energy levels. Now, whether that's true in every case, I don't know, right? Anecdotally. But I do know that people, we do have energy levels, and I do know that we can sync up our teams. Our teams can be synced. And some of the ways that we can better manage that as leaders or managers, supervisors or leads, is to understand that this is the case and then to be able to recognize, pardon me, got some frogs in my throat, to be able to recognize when individuals or groups, whether they be subgroups of our team or the team at large, is in a downward curve. And then what do? This is where some creativity comes into play. Not only in how you conduct business and that sort of thing, but also in having fun with your team, giving them creative projects, asking them and engaging with them about, hey, how's it going? How's things been going for you? Just take the temperature and see if share good experiences also, things that are positive in your own world. And it could be birthdays that you guys celebrate. It could be all kinds of different things, right? It could be obviously performance, and that's, I don't want to overburden, the obviousness of that, but it could be so many other things in our lives, right? It's very important we take time to celebrate our wins. And if we don't celebrate our wins, then people will get into this low energy, right? They'll get, the apathy will kick in. You come out of the holidays, people were in a little bit higher energy for the most part. And then January hits, and then there's this kind of a drop, right? At least until spring. So there is this notable and obvious shift in our energy levels. So, how do we manage it? Music is a good way to manage it. Okay. Um, you have to figure out what works and is most appropriate for your own team, right? Whether that, because obviously safety concerns and so forth. But it could be music. It could be, like we said before, it could be having a competition, a friendly competition. Um, these kind of things, morale programs. There's so many things that you can go out there and find that are fun things to do, that are productive and kind of get your team synergized. And those are fun things to do, right? So managing the energy level, personally, also, I know for me, when my energy's, physically, I'm feeling a little more run down than other days. I know it's something emotionally uplifting, like inspiring movie or music and that sort of thing. Could be the sunshine outside, activity, right? So physical fitness or walking or running or exercising, depending on what that looks like for individuals being different. But what's allowable within your organization? Some organizations have a gym right on site. Some offer that as a perk. Some don't. And so what can you do creatively to create opportunities for folks to manage their energy better and to kind of pick themselves up and have fun. I do find I do like to engage with my teams. I know leaders, managers, that sort of thing. Some folks are a little hesitant to really get out there and be vulnerable with your team. Hey, you know what? We're not perfect. Sometimes on these videos, I've said goofy things or messed stuff up. It's going to happen. I mean, we're human beings, right? Don't worry about it. Is your heart in the right place? Are you trying to do the right thing? Are you trying to take care of people, take care of yourself? Is your focus in the high side, in the high vibrational side of life, or is it in the negative? I mean, if it's in the negative, that's where you need to work on those things. If you're already doing well and you're trying to engage, great. But if you're a little phobic, a little apprehensive to engage because you don't want to be seen as less than in front of your team, get over it. Get over yourself. You're going to have a moment where you say the wrong thing or you flub something up and go, I goof that up. Or that's also the time for that vulnerability to say, hey, I don't have an answer. Let's brainstorm. I really need to pull from all of your perspectives too. That you should be doing that anyway. But sometimes that's a way to shift the energy when you're not having it, right? Hey, team, I'm struggling to try to figure this out. Any ideas, right? And then encourage them to work with each other in the same way. And when you do that, it's not only is it genuine and you're being real, but you're showing that you care, because you do, right? Hopefully you do. If you don't, then that's an area you got to work on. Because if you're afraid because you don't care, well, at first you got to care, and then get over, being imperfect, right? Don't be a perfectionist. I can freely admit, back in the day, decades ago, I was a recovering perfectionist. That'll drive you insane. Okay, it'll drive you nuts. But once you get past all of that, you're able to see yourself as you are and foibles and all, then things just move a little more naturally and more cohesively when you're working with a team. It's not about trying to be better than others. It's wanting to be better than you were yesterday or the year before. You're only in competition with yourself for your own performance, and then everything else is a matter of cooperatively, working and unifying with your team and unifying them, and they unifying all of each other to achieve the goals that you're trying to achieve. And when you do that, it's so much easier to have fun and to goof off, at least, not in an unsafe way, but in a smart way, right? So, they hit a goal, do a cookout. Hey, if they hit their goal every month, do a cookout or some version of that, quarterly, whatever it is. Make things, create lighthearted ways to have an exchange and engage so that you can manage the energy. Not every day are you going to be tip top. And I'm not saying you're not going to have moments where you're just like, okay, you're going to. But those should be the sliver of what you go through, and the same for your team. And so you can help manage that. You can get them to help manage themselves that similar in the same way. And then you can, it helps each other picking each other up, right? Some people are a little higher, higher energy level, picking up the others. And then everybody's there helping each other. And that keeps us moving in a positive way. All right, folks, just want to touch base a little bit on managing energy levels, our own and our teams. And remember to hit like, share, and subscribe, and also to hit that good domino 3 to 5 times a day to uplift, motivate, inspire, and encourage folks. And when you do that, not only are we transforming culture, but we're transforming ourselves. And that's an amazing thing. All right. Well, until next time, take care.